Scar1313 here. Today we are going to be looking at Final Fantasy VII and its weapons, armors, accessories, and materias. And yes, it is limited. So let's just go ahead and get weapons out of the way. So the very first weapon the characters start off with is the ultimate weapon so far. Now, granted, there's been no DLC, and if you just bought this at the store and didn't have an internet connection, this is gonna stay true until you get DLC. Um, so the Buster Sword, I'm gonna go down his list, and you're gonna see most of the weapons have a lot of red and a little blue. Now the red is stats going down, the blue is stats going up. So no weapon comes close to the one he started off with, the Buster Sword. Granted, they do give a bonus point to certain stats, but all around it decreases. So he started off with the Gatling gun. That's his best weapon, in my opinion. She started off with the leather gloves. Every other weapon brings so many stats down, it is ridiculous. And now you're going to notice that in this one, there's one that will look like it adds more blue than it does red, meaning like more stats go up. It's right here, the bladed staff. It looks like more stats go up than more stats go down, but it takes her magic attack down 141 points, which is like the lowest stat decrease I've ever seen in the game, so don't be fooled by that. And then, yes, there's the reinforced staff. Also notice there's 6 weapons per character, so this is Final Fantasy VII. There's probably going to be 7 DLCs where you can get ultimate weapons. You know, something better than the very first one you start off with. And also, on game release, there's the chain bangle. Now this is the best armor in the game, and there's only 3 force bracelets that you can get that come close to being efficient for materia use. You have the Astral Cuff and the Iron Maiden, which is pretty much tied. The Iron Maiden gives awesome defense and a little bit of magic defense, but Astral Cuff gives a little bit of defense and a lot of magical defense. So if you're attacking, or if you're fighting a physical attacker, Iron Maiden's great. If you're fighting someone that uses magic, Astral Cuff is the best. The rest of the accessories really don't hold up to anything, and I know it's a slow progression as the game goes. You know, they didn't want to start you off good, but their in-game equipment still isn't even that great. So those are the accessories that I would, well, armors that I would choose. Next we have accessories, which, excluding this one, the Gotterdam gun or whatever it's called, it's German. I can't speak it, so why did they put it in English translation? I don't know. Let's just go through the normal ones, because this one you get from defeating the hardest boss in the game. Once you get it, you're glued to it because it's awesome, but you're also aware that there's nothing in the game that's a challenge to you anymore. So it makes you completely overpowered and nothing to fight to use it for. Alright, then we got the more important ones. So transference module I used a lot, and every time you use an ATB, like, you know, Cloud's Braver attack, it will fill up the limit gauge a little bit. Champion belt is tied with the circlet as one of the most useful accessories in the game. I'll explain that here in a minute. Then you got Spectral Cogwheel, which when you use MP fills the limit gauge up. So in the end you'd find out that using limit breaks is very key to fighting most of the boss fights. The other accessories, they're just stat boostings. the circlet and the champion belt. If you're a physical attacker, champion belts are great. It adds not only HP by 10%, but it also increases your strength by 5%. But the circlet gives you that presses MP that you need by 10%, and magic power by 5. So those two are really good. The rest is just, status effect, immunement, the duration of negative status effects can be reduced or increased depending on how you use it. The enchanted ring, it helps extend the duration of positive status effects such as regen, haste, barrier, and end barrier. Fury ring I didn't get much use for. I do not understand why you would want to start a battle with the toad status. Revival earrings are good. I don't know if they last just one battle. Like you put them on the first battle you get into, you break. But I do know for certain that if you come back from death with these on, they are broken. And you will no longer have the item and you will no longer be able to use them. Now the crescent moons, they are a blessing in disguise. Like 4 out of 5 times you're fighting, like you're with 3 people, or I don't know, like the information on it says reduce damage taken when equipped by non-active characters. When you're in battle using one character, that means the other one's pretty much got a protection on them for a little bit of damage, and that little bit of protection really helps. So the next thing we got, Whistle Wind Scarf. This is good if you don't like using the First Strike materia, which First Strike materia is really awesome and you should probably master it right away. This was Clarity Pendant, only works for people that are using the Refocus materia, which will give you 3 ATB instead of just having 2. This one I'm not even going to discuss because I never really used it. Salvation Badge. Healing Cabinet. I don't know how to say it. It's really good in normal mode when you're just leveling up and you're not really prepared. You'll get a lot of use out of this. It increases the healing effect of items, spells, and abilities. So I really actually enjoyed those. If you don't have DLC and you're pretty used to using your summon magic for damage, the Mithril Amulet is not a bad choice. Moogle's Amulet is not a bad choice if you're farming for items. So that's all the accessories. Now we're going to go into how materia is actually limited. Well, you have 12 types of magic materia, meaning green. You have 12 green materias. You can have up to, well, you can have more, but I have up to 4 of each kind of materia that for green. So I have 4 healings, 4 cleansings, 4 revivals, and so forth. The reason I have 4 is because there's 4 characters, and I feel like if I had fire equipped on one of them, I wouldn't need to equip fire again on the other one. I mean, I could be using elemental or stuff like that, but I usually don't do that. So I figured 4 would be enough. So that is pretty much green materia right there. You can actually buy most of the green materia. So now we're going to get back to the limitness of materia within Final Fantasy VII Remake. In the whole game, normal, easy, hard mode, you can have up to 2 elementals, only 1 magnify, which is an awesome materia, and should have had at least 2. You can have 2 warding materias, 1 synergy, 2 HP absorption, 1 MP absorption, and 1 AP up. You can't get more. You're limited. Once you have these maxed out, you're good to go. Okay, same with yellow materia. Once you have maxed out, which some of these just come pretty much maxed out, uh, I don't know if you can get more than 3 chakras and 3 prayer materias. I assume you can because I was able to pick multiples up on hard mode. But the most you can have assess materia is 2, and you can only have 1 ATB boost materia, which makes you think, how good is this? Like, if they limited it to being 1, it's got to be pretty darn special. Still is okay, and enemy skill is pretty decent too. But chakra and prayer, your hard mode way to go when you go to cure. So yes, prayer and chakra, really good. Now we come to purple materia, and this is where your characters are really going to start to grow. So I have 8 HP ups mastered and 8 MP ups mastered. Now I have only been able to get 2 magic ups and 2 lock up materias. I've heard that there's a 3rd magic up materia, but I have yet to find it. And nobody has been able to find the 4th, which is probably in DLC, because the description is the total boost limit is 100% when more than 1 is equipped. Well, at a 5-star rating, magic boost is boosted by 25%. Meaning with 2 equipped, that's only 50%. And with 3, that's only 75%. So how can you get 100% if you're not allowed to equip, or, well, if you can't obtain more than 2 or 3 of these magic ups? With HP up and MP up and luck up, all of those stats are boosted by 50%, which is why you usually equip 2 of them to boost it up to 100. But yeah, magic up, there's something special about those, and we'll probably see them in DLC. You can only obtain 1 gil up materia, 1 EXP up materia. Deadly dodge, I believe you can buy, which I only got 4 of because that's all that I need. I've been able to get 3 parry materias and 2 first strikes. Only 1 auto cure, which strikes me because I believe there is actually more than 1. Then we got 2 item masters, ATB stagger, and then ATB assist. There's only 1 of those. 1 provoke. Then we got steadfast, which is pretty good. You get 3 of those. And then you get skill masters, which is pretty nice. And then finally refocus. But just the materia that I have here, I will never need another materia. Or, well, until they release DLC and I can get more materia. But other than that, blue and yellow I can't obtain more of, and there's some purple that I can't obtain more of that I more likely would want to obtain. So with that being said, my characters are pretty straightforward. I just got revival and prayer on. I always use steadfast block because it's really good. First strike helps so much. Assess is useful until you have every monster assessed, then it becomes obsolete. Still, yeah, there's stuff you can steal that's pretty important, pretty cool to have, but it's really, debatable whether you like to use them or not. But yeah, it usually goes along that pattern. I put luck up on Barrett because having critical hits with him seems a lot more important than anybody else. Tifa is probably the best character in the game, and with that, she's almost like a clone of Cloud. If you're wondering about the 4 materias down on their accessories, they're pretty much HP up and MP up, just enough to boost my stats as high as I can get them. With With Aerith though, she's special, so I'm going to explain a little bit about her. I usually put the 4 elements on her until I know who I'm fighting, and then I'll usually take some elements off and add prayer and revival. But for right now, she's got all 4 elements and then both the magic ups, and then as always the MP up and HP up materias. This allows her to fight because she's got a really useful ability called Arcana Ward, which allows you to double cast, and that's real nice. But besides materia setups, we all know that there are certain bosses you want to use certain materia for, and yeah. But even down here, there's a little spot below Twin Stinger, and I guarantee these are DLCs futurely going to be added. So keep in mind with that. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you know. I'll try and make a video. And have a good day. Bye bye.